men's group tonight was absolutely beautiful. A lot of fun. It was really, really nice to lead, host, and share my space with everyone. And I got a lot of really nice, encouraging feedback from a group of people who practice authenticity. So I'm feeling hopeful and encouraged towards continuing to move into right path and things that feel meaningful to me, which is leading these sorts of groups. Coming soon to you. I'd actually really like to share some of the details of how the event went. Maybe you'll get some ideas, but I'll love to look back on this and reflect on how this went so well. So the meetings start at 6:30 and sunsets around 8:15. We went down in the backyard, sat down around the fire pit. We each brought our own things to sit on. We got started pretty much right at 6:30, even though not everyone had arrived. We started with clearings, which is if anyone wants to share a way in which they feel themselves or someone else has been out of integrity. There were no clearings on this day. Then we established who was going to lead the next week's meeting and who was going to host it or what was the location going to be. And then we and that was logistics, and I wanted to get that out of the way initially so we didn't have to change the vibe at the end of the meeting. Then we did a round of gratitudes, which was really nice. I like starting things off like that. The reflections were great. People loved the voice thread that we all share, which is VOXER. I encourage you to give that a try, or you can do voice stuff on most messengers, iMessage or Facebook Messenger, for example. Then we leaned into a practice that was led by kind of impromptu. I was going to do a meditation, but this worked out well. It came up impromptu. A buddy led. We each paired off, and then he led us into. One person would keep their focus on themselves, and the other person would have their focus on that other person. We're talking energetic focus, not like you're crossing your eyes or something. And then he'd switch it. You'd switch the people who are keeping their focus and who are being focused on. And then he invited us to have a balance where we're keeping our focus with ourselves and with the other. Then we did a round of impact. Impact is when we share our personal experience of something. I, throughout today, was excited to keep a few edges enforced. As leader, as facilitator, I wanted to make sure that people were not projecting on each other or injecting anything. I didn't want to hear anyone say, you were blah, blah, blah. I want to hear what your experience was. Meaning, when I heard you say blah, 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 I felt good, bad. It reminded me of a time when and that felt. And two, somatics, feelings, bodily sensations, emotions, and feelings. Keeping things in those realms. And I'm really appreciating how the men are growing into that. It's really rich. I highly recommend that practice. As you know, because it's in everything that I do, it's right here in this channel. It's weaved into the UNCOVERY process. It's right here in my men's group. It's also the flavor of the therapy that I'm doing right now, somatic. So then after that, we moved into so on that voice chat, there were a few messages that were really touching and meaningful over this past week, and I had saved each of them. And I invited us to sort of combo a sort of UNCOVERY hot seat where we all sit and we listen back to back to back these really meaningful messages, which were each from someone in the group. And we sit and we face that person while listening to the message. And the invitation is to keep the experience with ourselves. Notice our own experience while seeing the man and hearing the voice and the story, noticing our own experience. And this is transitioning into UNCOVERY. This is one of those edges where I think most people tend to leave themselves, which leads to all sorts of unhealthy things like enmeshment. So that was pretty cool. And then shared impacts again. And then for the timing around sunset, I did a lightning round where I introduced people to a really restricted form of UNCOVERY where we only share bodily sensations and feelings or emotions. No story. No story at all. We just did 2 minutes each as we went around with these 7 men that were present. And I'd invited people before that round to not speak afterward. No impacts, no speaking. We were just going to get up. You could feel free to use the restroom. I was going to go take a walk around the field for 15 or 20 minutes, and everyone was welcome to join me. Oh, it worked out so well. So everyone gets in as their 2 minutes. It's kind of meditative for everyone else who's listening. Everyone's getting in touch and voicing their feelings and what they're feeling in their body and their emotions. And then when everyone was done, we got up. A couple of people went to the bathroom, stepped over the fence. There was Durango, the horse. The sun is setting. There's paragliders going around. Some of us pet the horse. Some kept wandering off. Hung briefly from the old swing set. There was Big John, the mule. There were ants that were kind of interesting. The paragliders were dancing. A couple of them landed in the field. Really wonderful. We went through the middle dancing space where a couple of the people from the men's group had joined us for the meadow dances on Fridays, and they moved into dancing. The sun setting, the color shifting. People saw me eating the mustard plant, and some gave it a try. And then we got back to the space, and I put on a song that's about wanting to be more like love. And everyone just kind of sat back and looked out over Sage Hill and enjoyed the sunset and listened to this song. And then I lit the candle that was made by one of the men that used to be in our men's group, gifted to each of us. It was melted down from one of the major candles that was introduced to us by the leader of this larger organization during some of our early training. Really nice sentiment. And then I opened up the rest of the night to UNCOVERY style, somatic style, no projecting impacts, and just impacts leading to other impacts, leading to other impacts. And it was really beautiful, really lovely. The range of emotions was rich, was sad, anxious, joy, and hilarity, nostalgia, and beauty. Even at some point, someone described the insecurity of one of our egos reminding him of the owl that he kept hearing. It's kind of screeching, and he started screeching. I was like, can we all put this on the voice thread? So we all screeched on the voice thread for about 30 seconds. And I get some joy out of knowing that some of the men that were not able to attend today's meeting will get to hear that, and that we're able to go back and reflect on that moment of joy and hilarity. Really, really proud of these men. Really proud of them for getting in touch with their emotions. These men opening up to their tears and their sadness, publicly opening up to their tears, their shames, their insecurities, speaking about them, moving through them, becoming real, rich, genuinely emotionally powerful men. And a lot of us making transitions in our careers or out of old corporate sort of careers into more meaningful work. So proud of these men. And the reflections that they gave me towards the end were really wonderful, really encouraging. Naming everything from the way that I sounded and looked and felt and held space, and the pacing, they said, was all wonderful. The location, the organization, the way everything unrolled, they said was really wonderful. And that felt really encouraging to me. And I'm starting to daydream about doing a sort of weekend retreat, and very excited and nervous about that potential. Very excited by how much meaning I feel like I could genuinely share with people who showed up to actually experience and practice a lot of these things in person, as opposed to just speaking and writing about them. Yeah, if you're interested, let me know. If you're getting value out of this video, hit that like button. If you're feeling something, hit that like button. Yeah, gosh, I'm gonna lean towards bed. Maybe I'll so good, so good. Okay, I'll talk to you again soon. It's been real good. I feel so jazzed. I'm cooking and getting a bunch of things done that I didn't expect to get done until tomorrow, and things I've actually been putting off for a while. Oh, feels really nice. Feels really right. I feel so excited. Hopefully I can get to bed at a reasonable time. All right, y'all. It's late. It's after 3. Time for sleep. We led a real good conscious men's group today. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that comments section. I'll see you again real soon. It's been real good. Good night.